everyone, I am Left, and welcome to a video in which I hope to crack the code of why Phoenix Armada had such crushing victories and an overall take of first place in the Vainglory World Championships over this weekend, or this last weekend. So, if you guys don't know, that's Phoenix Armada on the screen right there. Used to be Invincible Armada, acquired by Team Phoenix in October. And they basically rolled over most teams in the World Championships, and many people were just completely confounded as to why they played so good and how they played so good. So, in this video, that's what I'm going to attempt to uncover. So I hope you all sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. We're going to start simple. And the simplest fact of why this Phoenix team is so good is Druids Farm. Now, this is just a regular slowed down version of them destroying TSM in the first match of the Grand Finals, and what I want you guys to focus on here is the number next to Druids Farm. Druids Farm just enables them to do so many of the things they do, and without it, they just wouldn't be able to do those things. Things like diving under turrets at level 6, bursting you down under your own turrets and where you think you're safe with surprising amounts of damage, those are all things that depend on Druids' high level of farming. If you take nothing else away from this video, I want you to see this badly. So this is a revolutionary strategy that I and my teammates saw when Invincible Armada was playing during the course of Worlds. So you see here they've just taken the gold mine. Willie, their support, the Lance, is going up to the lane. Now Druid, watch on the map, Druid and Mango, they're hero icons. Mango is Taka, Druid is Sky. They've taken gold mine, Druid is going and taking the jungle farm and giving Mango ambient gold. Willie is going and babysitting the lane just in case it pushes for Druid to come back and get even more lane farm after he takes the jungle farm. Now this doesn't even hurt Mango because Druid is giving him ambient gold. Basically, they're just front-loading all of their gains that they've gotten by going 4-0 on TSM onto Druid and Mango, so that they can execute even more under-turret plays and perfect chains of CC and just debilitate TSM even more. Now they're going, you see them just go into TSM's jungle and take even more ambient gold. It's just such a perfect and innovative rotation. Like, I don't even know how they came up with it. It's so genius. It's like, Willie, all he needs to really do is do what he does, land all of his roots and Githian walls, and he's good at that. He does not need to be very far ahead, which he kind of would be if he was the one in the jungle with Mango. Since Druid is the one in the jungle with Mango, it puts him out to a gigantic lead and over Best Chuck, which allows him to do those huge numbers of damage that just surprise you under your own turret. Okay, so next, Armada consistently thrives in the strengths of the comp they pick. Watch here as Status is chasing onto Mango. Now, watch as Willie gives Mango the buff, and he's just able to melt Status, even though he had the huge disadvantage of health. Now, Wrecked, I don't know why, but he just kind of try to save Status. You don't try to save Status when you're, like, getting piled on by Armada. Bad idea, but just you gotta see how they play around their comp early game. The Adagio, what the Adagio does is he just provides those immense buffs early game. When you're playing the Rome Adagio, it falls off late, but those buffs from the Rome Adagio in the first 5, 6, 7 minutes, they really help, and you can tell that Armada knows that to a T just based on that play right there. So here we see Armada rotating through the Gangstar's Tri-Bush. Mango generates some empowered basic attack stacks on the Gold Miner, and we see that Wrecked is out of position. So Wrecked is famous for building Storm Crown first on Lyra, which means he's pretty behind on his defense right now. Now since he's just the tiniest bit out of position, we're going to see Armada just layer all of their CC that they can right onto Wrecked, even though he's the support, because that generates the lane advantage that they so desire. So we're going to see Wrecked go down here to the Yummy Cat and Frenzy. He misses the Bright Bulwark, and Wrecked dying is going to lead to Von C dying. Now Von C foolishly thinks that he can contest Invincible Armada after they've killed his support, but Druid chains a perfect Aces High onto Von C and is able to hit him with those nice basic attack, or what are those boomstick shots, and you just can't be any, like, 1 foot out of position against Armada, because they will chain all of their CC onto you at once, and then it's just over. Now, they even would like to jump onto Status Baked here, but he was smart and stayed too far back. Here we're going to look at Armada's split-second decision-making. Willie is going to be isolated, and he's actually going to go down here. He puts the buff onto Druid, anticipating a turnaround, but Druid just says nope. Now, Gangstars thinks they can chase here, which you've probably already seen this clip, but it ends up being a very bad idea, because Druid and Mango infuse at the shop at 8 minutes into the game, and they're able to 2v3 ace Gangstars. It's just intuitive split-second plays like this that separate the best, or that separate the good from the great when it comes to the pro circuit. Okay, so I touched on this earlier, but now we're going to expand on it. So what Phoenix loves to do is they love to they love to abuse Druid's like huge amounts of damage, and we're going to see Status go too far here. What they love to do is Druid gets very far ahead. He gets like more than 10 CS per minute, and that allows him to get a lot of items very quickly. You see right here, we're only at 11 minutes, and he has 3 tier 3 items. That means that since Status has just stepped 1 foot out of place, he is going to get absolutely melted by Druid and Mango, and that's just instant dead sky. When you're playing against Druid and he's getting that kind of a lead, you just can't play any kind of like, no missteps. You can't be anywhere close to them unless they're the one making the mistake. You see Vonsi went down to the same burst of damage from Druid. Okay, so now let's analyze some specific fights from the games that Armada played against TSM. This one's from game 1. I'm not going to say anything about it, just watch and see what went wrong. Now that you've seen one, let's look at another. Flash X is going to put 1 foot out of position here, and he's going to get rooted. Hit with aces high and Akashka right on top of him, putting him in a very, very precarious situation. Will he use his fountain on himself, or will he give Phoenix a 2v3 on the turret? So Flash goes down without using his fountain, and Phoenix turns to the gold mine. Now what we're going to see here is Vonsi coming down with the Drifting Dark. Mango sees this and instantly goes for the Yummy Catnip Frenzy. Vonsi is quick enough that he puts Oblivion at his feet, but Mango's too good to let that stop him, and he comes out with the Reflex block. Vonsi just gets obliterated. Just a really not smart play on his part, because he should have known that at this point, when he's ahead in the jungle, Mango will have a Reflex block, and he is definitely skilled enough to use it on such a slow skill as Oblivion. It was just a really not smart play. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm better than Vonsi, I'm just saying that just wasn't a great idea. Moving on into another fight here, we are going to see, it's going to be Best Chuck getting chain stunned by Mango and Willie. So right here, he's a prime candidate for a root. Now we're going to see Mango and Willie go in with their CC at the exact same time. Now look at this specific comp that Armada is playing in this game. Gwen, I'm so dumb. Gwen, Kashka, Lance. Is that not the most ABC 1, 2, 3 crowd control comp you've ever seen? They can chain it so easily, and that's why they thrived so much with this comp in this tournament. Because Willie roots, Mango Yummy Catnip Frenzy, Druid aces high whether or not they need it, and there's really nothing Flash can do. He's going to get chain stunned by aces high again. Willie's going to Githian wall him into the gauntlet. He couldn't even use Surrey Strike, and that's going to be it for him. And now Armada has another 2v3 on the turret, which is what they thrive on. So Vonsi and Flash X are in a very bad position right now, and they should know. I mean, they obviously didn't know this in the tournament, but they should know that when they're playing against Invincible Armada, what they need to do right now is go back to the second turret. There is no winning situation for them here, because Armada will dive them, juggle the aggro, and kill them. Now it looks like here they think Mango went down to take the mid, and he left, but he didn't leave. He went down to take the mid, and he's going to come back. He jumps over the wall and is just getting great damage onto Vonsi. He gets stunned up. Druid's going to activate his boots, dodge the Oblivion, and that's just it for Vonsi. They should have guessed that Mango was just going to take the heal and come right back up. When you're playing against a team like Armada, there is no like scenario where they're not going to do that. And this just allows them to take even more of TSM's jungle farm and compound their lead even further. In this next clip, TSM's turret is going to be going pretty close to down right now. So right now, Von C, Flash X, and Best Chuck are not going to be able to defend this turret. Now, what should be happening here is Flash X should be standing in front of Von C, because we should all be predicting that Druid is going to use his Aces High onto Von C. They will take down the turret and get 1, 2, maybe 3 kills. Armada knows this. They know exactly how to chain their CC and how exactly to take advantage of these opportunities, but Von C does not, and yet he still stands in front of Druid's Aces High. He's going to get stunned up, pushed back, hit by Mango. All he has time to do is throw out the Oblivion, and turret is destroyed. Luckily, Best Chuck blocks that Yummy Catnip Frenzy, but Flash X makes the decision of going back in with the Gauntlet. Now, what this is going to end up as is Flash X dying and Best Chuck getting a kill, making it a 2-for-1 trade, which is good, but what's going to happen is Best Chuck is going to follow Willy over the wall. And this is a very, it's a very mechanically skilled play, but unfortunately it was a very bad idea as well. He is just walking straight into Druid, and this time Willy will land the root, and just Druid's going to blow Best Chuck up, and it was just a bad idea overall, because it lets Phoenix take even more of TSM's jungle farm and revenge kill Von C. I would be tilted there, and I'm sure Von C was too. In the next clip, Armada is knocking on the door of TSM's base turret, and Flash X gets stunned out by Aces High, and Yummy Catnip Frenzy, and Impale, just like we should be guessing now that Armada is going to do when they catch one person 1 foot out of position. Doesn't even matter if it's the support like Flash X or Wrecked. They will compound all of their CC onto one target, and taking out Flash X is not a bad idea because then he can't Fountain or Crucible. So they're going to take Flash X out here, and Von C is going to once again foolishly think that his Drifting Dark makes him invincible, and the turret is going to end up going down because Willy blocked, Oblivion. He's going to get stunned into the turret, miss his reflex block, and get blown up by Druid and Mango's insane farm lead. Now Best Chuck is the only one remaining, and you can see that the skill is up right there. He is going to get Yummy Catnip Frenzied. Nothing he can do about it. I mean, he could have blocked it, but Willy and Druid were coming, and Druid has that insane farm lead that we talked about earlier, so his damage is surprisingly large. So now I've got a few clips from TSM versus Armada in the Grand Finals Game 2, because Armada is running a very different strategy, and it's very Mango-centric. Mango is going to be playing Crystal Power Taka here, and this is what happens after the clip from before. Now, we see that, who is that up there? I'm pretty sure it's Von C is in a very, or no, that's not Von C, it's Best Chuck ending on Scarf. Very bad position. He is just getting pounded by Willy. He doesn't think they're here, but of course Armada's going to collapse and kill Best Chuck. So after Armada kills Best Chuck, Von C ported back and he's coming back. Now he thinks that they're just going to take his jungle farm, but that's not what Armada's after. They're after more kills to compound their lead and keep pushing down more and more turrets while killing TSM under the turrets, like we saw before. So we're going to see Von C getting just absolutely jumped on here by by Mango and Willy. Gonna land that root straight into an X-Retsu, and Druid doesn't even really have to do anything. There's nothing really to say here except Von C is going down very fast. So Von C is going down, Flash X is stunned up against the turret, as is Von C, but that doesn't really matter because he's dead anyways. Now they're just going to keep chasing Flash X because they're such masters at juggling turret aggro. Mango jumps off of the turret onto Flash X, and Best Chuck makes the mistake of coming right back out and thinking that he can kill them. Mango goes off of Flash X and onto Best Chuck, and he ends up taking a solo ace on that Crystal Taka. So what we learn here is that you can't, and Von C's even going to go down. This kill chain lasted forever. What we learn here is that you cannot play next to the turret against Invincible Armada when they have a lead. Even when they don't have 3 super hard CC heroes, they can do it with 1. Because Lance has 2 forms of CC on short cooldown. And when they have that Crystal Taka and his mortal wounds are debilitating your Fountain, He is just going to kill you over and over again as you spawn out of the base, as we saw right there with Best Chuck, Flash X, and Von C just going down over and over and over again. They're going to lose this base turret too, and it's just all going to be over. So now let's look at a fight that TSM wins and Armada loses. So right here we're seeing Von C, or TSM, the team of TSM going onto the gold mine. And what we're going to see here is Druids stepping way too far forward and Willy being not able to body block for him because he stepped too far forward. Now Flash is going to land double root, and this is going to go straight into Best Chuck's Aces High. And since Druid stepped so far forward to land those Heliogenesis that ended up really doing nothing, he is going to get double stunned, triple stunned into the wall, and hit with Aces High. Willy is going to waste his Crucible for no reason, and Druid gets blown up, and now that Willy wasted his Crucible, he's not able to block the Oblivion, which cancels out his Gauntlet, giving Mango no chance to survive TSM going up into the lane. So what happened here was Druid stepped too far forward, made a mistake, very uncharacteristic of him, and TSM in top form was able to capitalize on that in the way that we saw Invincible Armada doing it in the earlier clips. So they do bleed. You can beat them by doing what they do. That's what FlashX said on Twitter. He said, whoever wins this tournament is going to win because they copied Invincible Armada. That couldn't be truer, even though they did win the tournament as a whole. So now TSM is pushing with the Kraken here, and we're going to see them win another fight and win game 3. So Druid gets rooted out by Flash X, and Willy drops the Gauntlet. Flash X is the only one caught inside, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. He's tanky on Lance, and he's going to provide a distraction to keep the Kraken pushing in and keep the focus off of Von C and Best Chuck. So what we're going to see here in a couple seconds when this unfreezes is Druid steps too far forward again, and he's going to get rooted, or he's going to get stunned by Best Chuck's Aces High. You can see it flying right there, and he is going to get stunned. Flash X gets stunned too, but that doesn't matter. The burst damage from Gwen takes him out, and the rest is history. They're able to take down Mango as well, and they don't really need to take down Willy, but they also do that, get the ace, and they win this game. Of course, Armada beats them in the end, but this just goes to show that you can beat them, but you have to use a very specific and certain strategy, and you have to do it very, very well, and execute on all of your CC chains, all of your ultimates. They just have to be perfect. Okay, so let's review. What makes Phoenix Armada invincible? The Invincible Armada? It all starts with Druid. It all starts at the Druids Farm, him getting a big lead early and allowing him to do those surprising bursts of damage from whether it be Gwen, Kestrel, or Celeste on your enemies under the turret. After that, they constantly pressure the lane and punish you for staying after they whittle you down a little bit under your turret. We saw that multiple times in this video where they just chain their CC, compound it over and over, and just are able to take multiple kills where you think they're only going to get one. After they rout your lane, Mango and Druid are going to clear both sides of the jungle, and Willy will sit in the lane, compounding the lead on their carries even further. It doesn't really matter if Willy has more gold than Flash X. What matters is that Druid and Mango have more gold than Von C and Best Chuck. Turret deaths are rare because they're masters at juggling aggro. I accidentally cut it out, but Mango dies to the turret as Taka once there. They have professional mechanics plus the aforementioned effects, and it's just perfect. They have perfect synergy. I don't know how they do it. And that's just going to be it, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you learned something useful about this team. I hope I cracked the code, and I'll see you guys all later.